welcome back. I have a really cool breakdown for you. This is with one of my students and good friends, Jiu-Jitsu Nerd Mike. We have a lot of Mikes, so we have to give nicknames. Jiu-Jitsu Nerd Mike is a freaking wizard. The way he can explain things in such detail, he basically studies Jiu-Jitsu when he's not at Jiu-Jitsu. He studies all the greats. He studies everyone from old school traditional martial arts to the modern game, no-gi and gi. I'm really impressed with his brain. He's able to retain so much information, and he's a great guide for me too when I'm going over something that maybe I haven't gone over yet, like maybe some modern stuff. He's able to spin off some of the studies and reviews that he's done. So really impressed with Mike. Arguably probably one of the highest IQs in the school. So this breakdown, I'm rolling with him, and he's also older. So knowing that with him, I do a different pace. I try to focus on being more technical instead of just going hard and fast. I'm really focusing on using technique to get into positions that I want, because he's really, really good at escaping positions. So you'll see a few scrambles where he's able to escape and I'm able to not finish. And then you'll see some other exchanges where I'm able to actually finish and he's not able to escape because of some details. So I'm really impressed with this role. I had a lot of fun. I know he did too. So stay tuned, guys. Hear the commentary, and looking forward to it. So we have Mike, the BJJ nerd, also the Houdini. He's really good at escaping submissions. And he's also highly intelligent, very smart. And so he's very technical. And so he has to get into positions where it's very hard to control or submit him. So I really like rolling with him because of the finesse and the technicalities of how he transitions from one position to another. So detailed oriented and really hard to submit, not because of athleticism necessarily, but because of his brain. He just knows where to be and how to do it. And so here I initiate my guard passing. He's got a really tough guard to pass. And I'm going to start to pivot my knee. Look what I'm going to do here. I'm going to straighten my leg out instead of keeping it bent. So that takes off his De La Riva hook. I'm going to crush my knee down, lower my body, block his shin, and I'm still grabbing with my left hand. Now as I pass, notice my knees don't touch the mat. I'm leveraging all my weight forward. I'm going to hug around his leg. He's going to try to shoot a reverse triangle, but notice I tuck my hand outside of his leg so he can't get it. I immediately know what he's doing. And then I'm going to use my hip and my left knee to kind of check his hip and his leg so he's not able to hip into me or shrimp into me. I'm going to use this to secure the pass. Like I said, he's very technical, and he's got several nicknames. I would call him the Jiu-Jitsu Nerd and the Houdini because he's able to escape good positions. So I pass the guard, immediately start setting up a Kimura trap. I'm going to use this to set up an armbar. My goal here is to get secure positions and submissions because he's hard to submit because of his escaping ability. Look at how he's able to recompose and immediately avoid that arm lock by pinning his back of the head to my knee. So now he's flat, and now I'm able to secure the position. I'm choosing my battles. I wasn't stubborn with that submission. Even though I want to get it, I'm going to go back to the Kimura trap, and I'm going to use it to start leveraging his body. And I have to be very patient. So look, I'm going to get my first leg over, and I'm going to start to come up on top. He's going to put me back in half guard. I reposition. I get out. I go back into half guard. That's okay. I'm going to use the lapel to start feeding it behind his head, right? So I can start going for some sort of choke. My goal here is to really just take my time and secure position. So look what I'm going to do with this pivoting motion. I'm going to use my hook, and I'm going to pivot my right ankle so that way I can use my left foot as a hook to get my leg out from his half guard. So I'm going to do that, position my leg, and look, I get my hook out while I'm cross gripping and pinning side of his neck down. I'm able to pass once more from those positions. So I really wanted to work that pivoting motion from that headquarters position. He's going to give me turtle. I'm going to take my time, connect my knees to his hips. He's going to try to scramble out. I remember him being really good at recovering guard. So I'm going to grab the back of the gi. I hide my legs so I don't get leg lock. Here he's going to scramble very nicely to recompose the guard. But look what I did to prevent him to putting me in his guard. As he pivots, I connect the top of his back and I drive into him and connect my right knee to his hip. So he's not able to put me in it back to his guard, which is a really good guard. So again, I go for the Kimura trap, connect the Kimura trap. He's going to want to feed my ankle into his half guard, and it's often a misconception that people are safe there. They're not. So I'm going to use that to leverage that shoulder and to finish the armbar. So see it again. He puts my foot. I kind of let him put my foot in his half guard, which actually pins his hip. So now he can't come up as easily, right? And so as he puts my foot right into his half guard, I'm actually able to leverage it more towards my side, my left side, which is the upper part of his shoulder. And so he's able to get it loose, even though he does, look, he can't come up because my foot's actually in his half guard. If my foot wasn't in his half guard, he probably would have been able to come up. So that was just a minor detail that he missed. So I'm able to submit him, which is tough because, like I said, he's very good at escapes. So now I work my guard and I immediately go for an open guard. When people like to stay on their knees, it's a bit of a stalemate, right? They like to kind of take their time. So he's grabbing my lapels. I go hybrid spider / open guard, and I grab the collar, and now I'm trying to get his base off, right? To just make sure that I can off balance him. So I'm going to use that to reposition. I underhook his leg. He falls back to avoid getting swept, but in doing so, he tries to remove the grip that I have on his bicep, but it also allows him to sweep himself. So he's trying to hold on to my legs so I don't come up. I immediately get my legs out, pop over, and get the sweep. And so now I start repositioning that knee cup position again. I point my knee towards the wall, lower my shoulders, try to slice my knee towards his shin. He's got a good grip. Instead of trying to break the grip, I just position my pressure forward with my knee. My knee's coming across. I have a cross grip with his collar, bottom collar. He's pushing my knee. I'm able to just hook outside and pass. And now I'm positioning his body forward. I'm using my knees as levers and to connect that Kimura trap one more time. So I'm going to throw my leg across again. I really want the back. I don't want the armbar anymore. I want the back. He starts giving me the back, but he's also defending really well. So I'm going to switch to a reverse Ganto choke. So I'm going to grab hold of his collars. He's doing a good job defending. And remember, my right hand cannot fully function very well yet. So I'm able to hold grips. I just can't squeeze. So because I can't squeeze, I can't really attack this position. So as he's defending, I'm going to switch my right grip. Pay attention to my right hand here. Pay very close attention to my right hand because it's very important. And look what I'm doing with my leg, my right foot as well. I'm using it to help position me better on his back, at his upper back. I throw my leg over. Pay attention to my right hand. Don't miss it. I trap that shoulder, right? So now I have a better positioning here. He's leaning towards his left, which is okay. Now I'm going to use my right foot on the mat to help pivot me across. I use that to trap the shoulder again. I cannot finish because, again, my hand is pretty weak, and he's doing a good job defending. So you see how he blocks the right hand from finishing the bow and arrow. So I'm going to have to switch to this reverse Ganto choke. And here's the switch. Pay attention to that right hand. I go from my collar side to his collar side right there. Switch the grip. I can't finish. He blocks my calf, so then I wedge my knee behind his head and force the choke. So see it one more time. I had switched the grips. I try to go over. He blocks. Then I bring it back underneath his head, and I'm going to push up towards his choke. It makes the choke a lot tighter because the collar's going forward. Right there. So kind of improvised on that choke. I had never done it like that before, but I saw that if I can't squeeze and use my hand, then I have to leverage my legs more so. So doing a good job. So he immediately pulls guard here. So I'm going to collar grip with my right, pant grip. Actually, I step over, just a simple pass, as you can see. Simple pass to knee on belly. And we get right into this position. And that's time. So it was a good match. I really like rolling with Mike. Mike is very technical. He's our jiu-jitsu nerd. He does a lot of the studies. I've learned so many things from him as well. Just because he's a student, that doesn't mean that learning stops. Learning continues, and he helps teach not only me, but a lot of other students in the school. He used to help out with noon classes. Very, very smart, very savvy, very has a lot of finesse, and you know that if he does something, it's because he did it technically. So he's got several nicknames: the Jiu-Jitsu Nerd and the Houdini, because he's an escape artist and he can get out of pretty bad positions. So hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Leave your thoughts in the comment section and tell me what you guys want to see more. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon.